Okay, so in this video, I'm going to walk you through sort of the basics of how to use QGIS. So the version I'm using is 3.8. I believe as of end of December of 2021, 3.22 is the latest, but the changes are very minute, so it won't make any difference for most of the things that we're gonna be doing for this project. So just to walk you through this interface, so this is where the map will appear, and then on the left hand side you have what is called layers. So I'll show you how to use different files to bring up layers. If you go up here and add layers, and the files are loaded onto H drive. And there'll be more of them here under GIS. So one that I'm going to show you today, a couple of them, I'm making the distinction between Cook County and Chicago. In Cook County, you'll see Cook County border, which is the most basic one. It's nothing more than just the border of Cook County. So when you open up a file, when you open up a layer, what you are looking for, and when you open up these folders, what you'll see is the same file name with different extensions. And usually there are 5 of them, sometimes 7. The one that you're looking for is this SHP extension. It's called shape files. And that's what you want to open and add. When you do, sometimes you get this warning about coordinates. You can just press OK. I'm going to close this for a second just so that you can see what this is. And this is, again, nothing more than just the Cook County, its boundaries. I'm going to go back to that add layer window, and then I'm going to go add, let's say, this municipality. It's all the cities in Cook County is a municipality shapefile. So if you again click on SHP, what this will do, click on add. Again, I'm going to close this. Now it has borders of all the towns or municipalities in Cook County, and you'll notice that that if you look at the left here, you have 2 layers. So it's literally stacked on top of the other. So if I grab this Cook County border that I brought up the first and move it up, you'll just put it on top of the municipality. So if I want to, if you right click, properties, and you have this symbology section, click on simple fill. So what's filling up this shapefile? Fill color. If I want transparent, which means I don't want any colors, you can see through, and apply. And now, even though this Cook County border is on top of the municipality, you can see the lines from the municipality. So I'm going to go back to that Cook County border property under symbology, and click on the simple fill. Now, if I want to change the color of the border, right now it's black. If I change it to red and apply, and what you'll notice is that you have, let me make that a little bit thicker. Symbology, simple fill, 0.46 instead of 2.6. It's gotten a little bit thicker. So you'll see the red border around Cook County. So if I bring it down, again, because municipality is on top, the red kind of disappeared because now the border file is underneath this municipality file. I'm going to bring this back up so that Cook County border is on top. Now see the red a little more prominently. So obviously this big area is Chicago. So I'm going to go back to add layer. I'm going to add another layer here. This time I'm going to go to Chicago folder, and we have what is called CCA, Chicago Community Area. So this is, sort of a famous 77 community areas that were defined by the sociology department of University of Chicago back in the 20s. So that back in 1920s, I just realized that's 100 years ago. Again, that shapefile, if you click on that, what this will give you is a neighborhood, 77 areas, 77 community areas. Now, each shapefile, if you right click and go to open attribute table, this is the data behind each layer, basically. So you have community area here, and all those other things are sort of not really helpful for us, but these are the data points that's needed to create a map. So now we have Cook County border, which is the entire border of Cook County. That's one layer. Another thing you can do, instead of this convoluted file name, if you go right click, you can actually rename the layer. So it doesn't have to be the file name. So you can change it to that you will recognize. Or even here, you have underline and stuff. So you can simply change. And I'll show you in another video why changing these would be helpful. So now you have 3 different layers that have Cook County as a whole, Cook County municipalities, and then Chicago community areas, neighborhoods. Now, if you highlight this Chicago community area, if you go up here with a identify features button, if you click on that, and then let's say you want to know what this is, then it will bring up it, because it's so small. I think it highlighted 2 of them, but I meant to grab Uptown, so it shows Uptown. So it's basically showing where you highlighted. And if you do not want to, if you want to get rid of that selection, just click here, deselect, and it should go away. Or if you want to zoom in, up here, zoom in, you click on that, and it turns into a magnifying glass. And then you can just go highlight and create essentially a rectangle. So your button is pressed on your mouse, and then create a rectangle. Then it zooms in. You can always go back to the original size called zoom full up here. You click on that, it'll go back to what it was before, or it will show the entire map. Okay, so that's essentially the basics. Let me just add one more to show you even granular level. Census tract. So this is a neighborhood level. So what you're going to see is, this is only for Chicago, and what you're going to see is the Chicago being carved out even smaller. I believe there are about 800 census tracts in Chicago. So if you go left here, right now, census tract is on top of community area, right? So what I can do is bring it up one, so it's higher than, I'm gonna rename this to Chicago census tract. In Chicago community area, what I'm going to do is go right-click property, symbology again, and I'm gonna make this one transparent, and I'll make this border, let's make it blue. Then, well, you need to make it a little bit blue, a little bit thicker. What you'll see is what we call community areas that are nested within, well, census tract nested within neighborhoods. So don't particularly like yellow there. I'm gonna make this color a little bit lighter so that we can see a little bit better. And then let's zoom in. This area is O'Hare. Obviously, no one lives there, so it's well, there are a couple of people who live up here, but otherwise, this is Chicago. They should really, the lines should really jive right on top of one another, but they don't. So this could at some point end up being a problem. So we need to rectify some of these issues. So the Cook County border here, you can see it doesn't jive with the census tract file, although they're pretty similar. And then the neighborhood one also don't jive with, it looks like it doesn't terribly, doesn't overlap very well with the census tract, although for the most part, it looks okay. So the census tract community area for the city of Chicago and the municipality for the county, we will probably use often to sort of identify where certain locations are. So this is sort of the very basic shape files that we'll be using very often for this project. So I thought this was pretty important. Again, my color schemes are probably not the best. Let's see if I can change the municipality a little bit. Okay, there we go. So we have this map kind of distinguishes community areas and census tracts. Again, I'm going to make the census tract border a little bit lighter so that it's not so dominating. So you can see a glimpse of census tracts within community area. There is a shape file that has Cook County census tract. I believe Cook County has about 1,300 census tracts. So we'll have occasion to use those as well. So census tract is probably what we're gonna link the census data with the most. So I'll record another video that sort of shows how to link this shape file with the census data. But this is sort of the beginning of how we would map, well, series of maps for this project.